Hello my friends and welcome back to Mods of the Moment, a showcase of the newest and the most incredible Skyrim mods I've found lately in Nexus. I'm Bard's college graduate and today we'll take a look at combat, immersion and location mods, but also new sounds, armors and quest mods. Yep, there is a lot to go through, so why don't we just begin with the first mod, which is NPCs take cover, smarter anti-cheese AI. Skyrim's hostile NPCs' brains are known to be, at times, a bit smooth. I can't blame these poor bandits for the way they are, but what we can do is to make them much smarter and a lot more fun to battle against. With NPCs take cover, these enemies will not accept your cheese strategy of climbing onto a high ground anymore. Instead of just standing there, waiting for you to shoot or magic them to an early demise like they do in vanilla, they will run away and find cover instead, and maybe even call you out on your bullshit with more than 200 voiced reactions.
Smell your shame. Ysmir would be ashamed of you.
This mod is lightweight and compatible with any other AI combat mods. It just makes fighting these enemies way more interesting and challenging, as they can now hide from your attacks and even proactively start combat if they see you drawing your arrow aiming at them. NPCs Take Cover is simply another masterpiece of a mod by Serpent, and I warmly recommend checking out his whole mod catalog if you haven't got the chance yet or are new to Skyrim mods. Another combat mod I have here today is Flailin Around 5-in-1. Or actually, this is a weapon mod, but you use that in combat, so... This mod adds a completely new weapon type, the flail, complete with physics and pain, as the mod author remarks. This mod is still work in progress, but it already adds 5 new weapons into the game, all different flails that you can create at a forge with the iron smithing perk. To make this mod work, you need FSMP or another physics mod, so the flail can flail your enemies down. This mod is a lot of fun, as these weapons look like they hurt like hell and, at the same time, they look absolutely badass. I don't know what to tell you, just get this one if you want to do some real damage. Let's take a look at immersion mods now. Last month I showcased animated ships, which finally brought immersive moving ships to Skyrim. To be honest, I'm still in awe of this mod. And now we can finally say goodbye to loading screen traveling, as boat's operational animated travel is here. This mod allows you to travel between locations on rowboats in actual real time, just gliding slowly through the landscape, taking the scenic route. This mod covers a lot of routes you can travel between, like between the Guardian Stones and Lady Stone, which must be my favorite route as it is so beautiful. Other routes you can travel are between Icewater Jetty and Castle Volkihar, Septimus Cygnus Outpost and Winterhold, among others. This mod is just awesome and a lot of fun for roleplay playthroughs. To complement this recent breakthrough of sailing ships, the mod author has also come up with animated Carriage. This mod adds different NPCs actually traveling by carriage on the roads, and you can also join in the fun and jump off anytime you want. I can't really express how happy I am to have this mod in Skyrim. I have been dreaming of this mod for far too long, and now it's here. It's just incredible fun to see these carriages travel through the landscapes of Skyrim, making the world feel really alive. To boost this immersion even more, I highly recommend you also install Animated Carriage Additional Route, which is a mod that adds 28 additional routes for the carriages all around the province. Nightmares of Skyrim is an immersion mod that adds nightmares to all vanilla NPCs in the game. If you're lurking over sleeping people, you weirdo, you might catch a person having a nightmare. They will cry out in their sleep, and other sleeping NPCs nearby will react to it in different ways. Sorry, people of Skyrim, I know nightmares are not fun, but anything for the immersion. By default, these nightmares won't happen too often, but the number can be configured to your liking. There's also an alternate version that only works in Dawnstar, making the townspeople have nightmares before you complete the Waking Nightmare quest, which is genius, quite frankly. From Dawnstar, we travel to another freezing township, the city of Windhelm. The atmosphere of the city is icy and tense, as the city is the base of the Stormcloak Rebellion and a newfound home for the Dunmer refugees after the disastrous Red Mountain eruption. Dialogue expansion Windhelm adds more than 1,000 new lines of dialogue for about 30 NPCs, and there are also 28 new scenes between the characters.
Plus, Blackbriar mead, and a barrel of it no less. Are you crazy?
This new dialogue is written by the mod author, and the voices are created with AI voice synthesis, all in means of enhancing the original game.
I can count on one hand the number of Khajiits I've seen in Windhelm this year.
This mod adds lines that change depending on your player character's race and gender.
Checked this was Candlehearth Inn, not the assemblage. I can't believe the guards let you in.
Ha! I bet you rustled some feathers walking in here.
Allegiance in the Civil War, and the quests you have completed in Windhelm.
I would tell you to watch out for the butcher, but he doesn't seem to have the taste for your kind.
I really enjoy the author's style of writing, and I feel these new lines fit well in Skyrim, making Windhelm more interesting to visit as the characters are largely expanded in personality through the new dialogue.
And I suggest you stop asking.
Oh, loosen up a little, Captain.
Next, let's take a look at some new locations and environmental mods. First on the list we have ELAF POI, Restless and Shipwrecks, Points of Interest 2, which is a mod that adds small new locations to the game, or more accurately, points of interest. These 50 new details in the game world are added all over Skyrim, with an emphasis on underwater locations. These points of interest are mostly enemy ambushes, of course with loot, or just more treasures you can find in the wild. These places you can stumble upon make the world feel more dangerous and interesting to explore, as you never know what awaits behind the corner. The next mod is JK's Fort Dawnguard. This mod is a complete overhaul of the Fort Dawnguard castle, making it considerably larger, filling it with details, both the interior and the exterior. All of these added castle wall corridors are naturally accessible, so you can explore them all you want. A big change that has been made is that the roof is now wooden, which seems to be a bit controversial among Skyrim modders. I think I like this change, as Fort Dawnguard was originally built in the Second Era, and it was abandoned for centuries and only recently rebuilt to serve as the headquarters of the Dawnguard. But for those who don't like it, there is the option to have the original roofs. Anyways, with JK's Fort Dawnguard, the interior too has been revamped and is now full of clutter stylized in the classic JK fashion, making it feel super cozy. This overhaul hits the absolute mark for me, as JK's mods usually do, as everything looks so beautiful and epic here now. Dayspring Canyon was already an incredible location, but it has never appeared so breathtaking as it does now with this mod. WiZkiD Hunter's Camp Overhaul is a complete overhaul mod to all of Skyrim's Hunters' camps, changing how the camps look, but also improving the Hunters' AI. These hunters you can find all around Skyrim are my favorite group of NPCs. They're just so friendly, and it looks like they live a nice life out in the wild. This mod makes their camps more diverse, so they no longer all sleep in similar tents, and adds purposeful items, buildings and clutter around the camps, making them look quite a lot better in my opinion. There are some custom assets too, and I think this wooden statue looks just like Väinämöinen from the Finnish national epic Kalevala. The hunter's AI has been tweaked as well, so they won't just sit on a wooden stump all day. Now I want to make a new hunter character and join these people. The last location mod I'm showcasing today is Dragon's Teeth Prison, a dungeon mod. This mod adds a new dungeon in the game in the Falkreath Hold. This place is an old Imperial Legion prison that was used during the Great War, years before the events of the game. Now, the rumors have been circulating about a tribe of outlaws, the Frosthide tribe, occupying this old prison, and people have been hearing strange howling around the area. The environmental storytelling is done well here. The dungeon feels very balanced and something that could have been there in vanilla. All in all, Dragon's Teeth Prison is very much worth downloading for someone who enjoys quality custom dungeons and /or appreciates vanilla-friendly mods. Now let's take a look, or a hear, of the next mod category that I haven't previously featured in my videos. Sound Record Distributor is a new mod, an SKC framework, simplifying audio mods by a mile. After the release of this framework, there have been loads of new audio mods available, and I thought it would be so much fun to check them out today. There are birds, whales, and a dragon ambience, as well as winds, forest, and war. I think I'll just shut up now and let you hear how they sound for yourself.
Knowledge is hoarded.
Don't they sound good? I think these sounds add on to the ambience a lot, especially the Soul Cairn audio mod that just makes the place feel even creepier. I never really liked mods that change Skyrim's soundscape, but now I think I'm converted. Just remember to get Sound Record Distributor to have these mods working in your game. I'm excited that there are also 2 new quest mods I'm also showcasing today. First, let's take a look at the Serpent's Covenant quest mod. The mod features over 300 lines of voice-acted dialogue during this line of quests, unique armors and weapons, and unmarked points of interest. In the story, you'll meet Alexia, a traveling mercenary who seeks to bring an end to a guild called Serpent's Covenant.
Distinction lieth well behind the countless common peasants. They art naught but ants compared to their leader.
There are choices for you to make that will impact the world around you with real consequences, and in the game world, there are new points of interest such as serpent camps that make this guild and the story more believable. In the mod, there is no quest markers, and the quest develops organically by your player character meeting these people while exploring. The voice acting is incredibly high quality, and the writing is great as well.
I hope you know you're not alone. You can speak to me about it, if you'd like.
The second quest mod is Siblings of Sails quest mod. This mod features a short quest, a vendor, a custom follower, and a new Lunar New Year inspired outfits and a sword. The quest begins at Solitude Docks, where you learn that this merchant's items have been stolen by pirates. If you help him by retrieving his wares from a pirate ship, you'll be able to buy the Dragonwood Pugilist armor from him, but he'll also give it to you for free when you meet him later. The second part of the quest begins at the Drunken Huntsman in Whiterun, where he'll ask you to hand out flyers to the townspeople advertising his business. The third and final quest starts again at the Drunken Huntsman Tavern, where you'll receive a map, and if you manage to decipher it, it takes you to a certain location in which you'll find a meteor stone. When you return it, you'll be awarded with a sword made of the meteor, and you can also recruit the merchant's sister as a follower. This questline is implemented to make these new items feel organic, which is something I always appreciate in modding. Today I also have a single graphics mod, which this time is High Quality Ivy Replacer by the author of Nature of the Wildlands. This mod replaces the ivy in the game, both meshes and textures, and has an animated version available as well, which makes it slightly sway in the wind. I can just honestly say that this ivy is the best I have seen. It just looks incredible in the game. I know it's an easy thing to overlook, but when you replace it, you really can see the difference. On top of that, the mod is also performance friendly and has patches for different Stone Walls mods. Today on the list I also have two modded armors that are both rated heavy and both very friendly to the original game in terms of their vision: Ysmir armor and Rourken's Relics. Right off the bat, you can see that the Ysmir armor resembles the ancient Nord armor that is present in the vanilla game, but it's just like 100 times cooler. You can find the armor pieces in different, meaningful places in the game world, or just use console commands or add item menu mod to acquire them. In the optional files, there is also a matching Atmoran battle axe available that you can find at the shipwreck of Hela's Folly. This armor is simply badass and a great fit for the last Dragonborn. Rourken's Relics, on the other hand, is also a very lore-friendly armor set, which also features a weapon, a one-handed mace. As you can see, this armor is Dwarven themed and based on the Dwemer chieftain Rourken and the mythical Spellbreaker shield. I don't want to spoil too much on how to get the armor, as there are some clues in game, but if you want to see how to get it right away, read the spoilers in the mod's Nexus description. This armor looks absolutely amazing, maybe for someone who's a Dwemer researcher / warrior. Now, don't go anywhere. Take a look at these two new player homes with me before you go. Here we have Graywatch, a home in the Whiterun tundra. When you stumble upon this place for the first time, it's just a ruin that you can restore, but only if you have the coin. After you renovate it, you can finally move into this roomy cottage. The layout of the building is very simple. The home has 2 floors. The main bedroom and a library upstairs, and a smaller bedroom downstairs, and of course the kitchen and a big table to share with all your family and friends. The fun part about this mod is that you can customize the house with Stormcloak, Imperial or Whiterun banners, and even summon a group of guards in the house that you can recruit as followers, or just have them as company. The crafting station in the library is a consolidated crafting station, so it includes all crafting options in one, all but the staff enchanter. All in all, this house is a great, no-nonsense player home in a great location with small fun tweaks. The second player home I'm featuring today is Fungleheim. This home is pretty much the polar opposite of Graywatch, which you can probably already deduct from the exterior of this building. Fungleheim is located in the Hjalmarch swamp and purchasable for a fair price of 5,000 gold. The land encompasses 3 buildings, a mushroom house, children's hut above the stable, and a treehouse. The yard has a tent for armor crafting purposes, there's chicken everywhere, a bridge that is perfect for fishing, the coziest gazebo I have ever seen, and of course, a pool, which I appreciate very much. Now let's take a look at the interiors. The treehouse is a very small and obviously a very cozy space with the cutest bunk bed, a tiny bar, a table for two with a skylight, and surprisingly, an actual bathroom. I can just imagine staying here while it's pouring rain outside with the stove warming your toes, falling asleep to the sound of raindrops hitting the roof. Then we have the children's quarters, which is a larger space with 3 rooms. There is a warm living room with kitchen and dining table, a toilet, and a bedroom with 2 beds, as well as a lot of different toys for the kids. The main building of Fungleheim is a giant mushroom that might look small at the first glance, but it's actually quite roomy with the downstairs living space. This round house is filled to the brim with intricate detailing, crafting stations, and named containers for all your items. Downstairs, there is the main bedroom, and I'll just say, that bed looks mega comfy, and I love this wall filled with clothes and books and collectible items. Under the stairs, there's also a bathtub. From the downstairs, you can also access the underwater grotto that is a perfect place for fishing enthusiasts. All in all, Fungleheim is a beautiful home for anyone who likes the feeling of magic in their souls. This video was co-produced by Kira, Ryan Ulrich, Sphinx, and the Panicked Monk, as well as my other Patreon supporters whom I appreciate so much. If you want to support the channel, check out patreon.com/bardscollegegraduate. Thank you so much for watching the video. Take care and see ya!